In this video, we will look at a service exception error that can occur while creating or editing knowledge articles in SmartIT, indicating that malicious content has been identified in the payload. This error can be seen in SmartIT 2008 and higher due to new functionality included in those versions that provides the option to use JSON cleaner to validate the content users add in the rich text fields of knowledge articles. We will start with a quick and basic example to explain the type of validation that is included with this new feature. Then we will show the SmartIT centralized configuration settings that are used to configure this functionality and what options they provide. The video will finish up with a quick demonstration of how this all works in SmartIT. Say a user creates a knowledge article on how to reset an Helix ITSM password with the following contents. The top part of the screen shows what the article may look like in SmartIT, and below it, the underlying HTML code for the contents. It includes a header 5 tag for the header, a horizontal rule tag with size and width attributes, an ordered list with list items, as well as a boldface tag that has an onMouseOver attribute. The JSoup cleaner now takes an approved list of HTML tags and attributes as input, referred to as whitelist, and checks the contents of the saved article on server side against any tags or tag attributes that are not on its whitelist. If the whitelist of the SmartIT environment would now contain the following list of tags and attributes, the cleaner would detect that the size attribute of the horizontal rule tag and the onMouseOver attribute of the boldface tag are not on its whitelist. In such cases, the validation of the content fails and the service exception error indicating that the system has identified malicious content in the payload will be displayed, preventing the save. To configure this new functionality, SmartIT provides the following centralized configuration parameters. First of all, JSoup enabled URLs for knowledge. This parameter takes a comma-separated list of URLs that indicate to the system for which actions the code validation is enabled. Out of the box, the default value for this parameter is set to REST knowledge create, REST knowledge all, which enables validation for both knowledge create and updates. If only the REST knowledge create URL is set, validation will only take place on create. And if only REST knowledge all is set, validation of the knowledge content only takes place during updates of articles. If no value is set, validation is disabled. The second parameter is JSoup whitelisted tags, and this allows administrators to add tags and attributes they deem safe to supplement the default whitelist of tags and attributes that comes with SmartIT. The format of the value for this parameter should be a pipe symbol, then HTML tag name, followed by a colon and a comma-separated list of approved attributes for that tag. Further tags and attributes can then be added by starting with the next pipe symbol. So let's see how this all works in SmartIT. Here we can see a local HTML page in a browser with the article content that was discussed at the start of this video. We copy this content and go to SmartIT to create a new knowledge article. Set a title, paste the copied content into the article and attempt to save. We can now see the service exception error regarding malicious content in the payload. To demonstrate how the CCS parameters work, open SmartIT's centralized configuration. We can see the default setting is in place for the JSoup enabled URLs for knowledge parameter to enable validation for both creates and updates. If we now take the URL related to creates away, apply, and go back to SmartIT, we can now see that the save is successful as content validation no longer takes place on create. However, if we attempt to update the article, we see the same error again, as validation is still enabled for updates. If we take the second URL also away in CCS, we can see that the error is no longer displayed on update either, but we have of course no content validation taking place anymore. Instead of fully disabling this functionality, the administrator could also use the JSoup whitelisted tags parameter to add extra tags and attributes to the whitelist that are deemed safe by the organization. If we restore the default setting for the JSoup enabled URLs for knowledge parameter to enable validation, we can see the error returning. The administrator could use the SmartIT logs to find out which tags and attributes triggered the error. In this example snippet of my SmartIT log, we can see that there are two error lines indicating which unsafe tags and attributes were found in the content, as well as warn messages providing the fully formatted examples of what could be added to the JSoup whitelisted tags parameter to permit those tags and attributes in case they are deemed safe. For my test system, I decide both these tags and attributes are safe, so I copy-paste them both to my centralized configuration. I click Apply, and when I now save my knowledge article again, we can see that no error occurs while validation is still enabled. This way, an administrator can tune the system to accommodate for tags and attributes that are not on the default whitelist of SmartIT and have content validation enabled. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope that you found it helpful. Please visit the BMC Remedy and Discovery channel on YouTube to watch other related videos and hit the subscribe button to never miss an update.